an Albanian hasn't known what's been going on in the White House for the past 8 years. Is that not correct? Anti-intellectualism, I would admit that it's a bit thick on the ground in certain poverty communities, but it's hardly unique. Too much TV. These are things I just read recently. Too much TV, not enough print media. Lack of parental involvement, I already mentioned that. Poor verbal skills, lack of preparedness, and so forth. Now, the hidden hypothesis here is that if we can only get poor kids to act like middle-class kids, if we can only get these poor parents or working-class parents to act like middle-class kids, then their educational achievement will improve, they will go to college, and they will enter the great middle class, and we will reduce inequality. Well, there may be some truth to that, but I think, one, if we ignore the very basic aspects of income inequality, that we're putting too heavy a burden on our educational system. And the other thing is, we go too far. I think we go way too far in, excuse me, did you hear that sound? That's a little Velcro here. When you get older, you need a lot more Velcro in one's life. I think we go too far, and when we focus strictly on patterns. Oh, thank you. Some of you may have heard Oprah Winfrey, who has lots of money, gave $400,000 to a teacher to start a new school in Atlanta. And she just did this right before the first of the year. It was in that period between Christmas and New Year's. And she gave it to a guy by the name of Ron Clark. And Ron Clark is the latest educational guru. And he did this book, The Essential 55. And these are the 55 rules for teachers if you want to be successful teaching essentially poor black kids. Now, what is the first rule? Well, the overall theme of this book is you've got to get these poor black kids to become what? Middle class, but not just a southern middle class. Here. Rule number 1. Does anybody know? Are you ready for this? When responding to any adult, you must answer by saying yes, ma'am, or no, sir. Just nodding your head or saying other form of yes or no is not acceptable. That is rule number 1 in educating low-income kids. Gets better. I really abhorred that yes, ma'am, no, but I'm one of those unreconstructed Yankees here. Never expected my kids to do that, and they never did. Rule number 3. This is the truth, by the way. I'm going to leave this book here. I don't need it anymore. And I'll leave it here if anybody wants it. This is rule number 3. If someone in the class wins a game or does something well, we will congratulate that person. Claps should be of at least 3 seconds in length, with the full part of both hands meeting in a manner that will give the appropriate clap volume. Okay. This is rule number 4. Yeah, I could go at random on this. Y'all can take this. This is great fun. Rule number 41. When you answer the phone at your house, I mean, it's not only yes, ma'am, no, ma'am at school and clap right. When you answer the phone at your home, you must do it in an appropriate manner, and there are about 4 pages here on how to answer the phone at home. This is my favorite, though. Any mother can appreciate this one. Rule 42. When we return from a trip, you will shake my hand, the teacher's hand, as well as the hands of every chaperone. You will thank us for taking the time to take you on the trip, and you will let us know that you appreciate having the opportunity to go. I am not concerned with being thanked. I am concerned with teaching you that it is appropriate to show appreciation when someone has gone out of his or her own way to help you. Now, there's nothing a priori wrong with that unless you've been a parent. Now, how many of you have gone on field trips? You're in the band. Anybody been in the band? 10,000 field trips, right? You belong to an athletic club, and how many field trips, how many bus trips have you taken? I hate to think of how many miles I have ridden on a school bus. At the end of that time, I do not want to stand there and have these 40, 50 little darlings thank me. I just want to get my stuff and go home. Who is this guy? That is a sorry state of education today. Oprah Winfrey must have had a lot of money she had to get rid of quickly for tax purposes that led her to this, because this is really, I find this repulsive. But in any case, you all may, I'll just leave this up here. Bill may throw it out to you in the crowd. I was going to end with some comments about public policy and what the future may hold under Barack Obama, but I'm going to end now. I know you all really didn't come here to hear me, and we're all eager to hear Professor Ayers. So we'll end on this note. Thank you so much for having me here, and I do miss some of your faces.
Okay, well, once again, thank you everyone for coming out, and thank you, Dr. Kemp. I like the book. I might steal it. But it's my honor as director to introduce our key speaker for tonight. He is a distinguished professor of education and a senior scholar at the University of Illinois at Chicago. He has published over 150 articles and authored or edited at least 16 books about schools, school reform, and the need to be responsible for all children. He has strived to reform urban school districts, developing alternative certification programs to help bring highly qualified and socially concerned teachers into low-income areas. He has also established a small schools workshop to support small schools within these urban areas. In 1997, he was named Citizen of the Year in Chicago by the city's mayor. He currently serves as the Vice President of the Curriculum Division for the American Educational Research Association. He serves as a member of the UIC Faculty Senate Executive Committee, as well as a member of the Board of Directors for the Woods Fund of Chicago. Our speaker tonight is William Ayers, who has devoted 30 years of his life to working on reform in urban schools and the juvenile justice system. So it's our honor to bring him here tonight to speak.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, and thank you all for coming, and thank you to the Institute for Liberal Studies and to CPE and to the student government for having me here. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try to be brief, and I'll give you a warning about that, which is that when I was first in Chicago, my son Malik was 5 years old, and he accompanied me to a talk I gave to a group of teachers. And afterwards, this 5-year-old said to me he thought I was pretty good, but that I went on a little long. And then he asked me this question: do professors get paid by the word? And I thought, how does he know that? He's 5 years old, you know? I mean, but